Welcome back to Crossroads. Thank you so much for being here with us today. You know, today's show is all about the fellas. It's the sports stories behind the headline, and I have the darling of last year's Super Bowl here with me. I am honored to have Mr. David Tyree. David, thank you so much for being here with us this morning.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, it's a pleasure. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. You need to start playing football without the helmet, because you're a lot more handsome with that helmet off than you are with it on.
I'll try to tell you, I just, my wife would be greatly appreciative, but you sound pretty good, so I'm sure you're looking just as good.
Well, thank you, brother. Now, I've got to ask you about last year, that catch. It made headlines around the world. It looked like something on Madden or EA Sports or something. Take me back to that moment and tell me about that.
Oh, man, it's just an unbelievable experience, it starts with Eli, it starts with the snap, the offensive line blocking absolutely no one. Eli, who can barely jump rope, slips through Patriots defenders, and me, who can, might have a worse vertical jump than the offensive lineman, just being able to jump through the roof and, pin a oblong-shaped football to a helmet is an absolute miracle.
Now, speaking of miracles, your career, you have overcome so many obstacles. Your story is remarkable, and you've got this book. Tell me about it.
Oh, man, it's kind of a lot to tell, and it's something that I was hoping I'd be able to do in my lifetime, regardless. But with the Super Bowl, just gave an unbelievable opportunity to share. Filled with just tremendous, some struggles, some early childhood struggles, that led to, the early introduction of drugs and mainly marijuana or alcohol, to the point of blackouts, binge drinking in college, and eventually, arrested on marijuana possession after my rookie season. And at that point, that's when I actually, really had a real conversation with God, and he just completely warped my whole life.
Now, there are going to be a lot of young boys looking at you, and, some of these young college players, we had one recently here in the Twin Cities, Dominic Jones at the University of Minnesota, arrested and convicted. You get into a situation, and sometimes that bad situation defines the rest of your life. How were you able to take that negative and turn it around into a positive, and now give an example for young, especially African-American boys to follow?
Yeah, it was big for me. I think it all first started in, really just being real with myself and the fact that I needed help, that something was wrong. And when I got into that situation, I'm obviously at the lowest point in my life, and I realized I exhausted all the possibilities, that everything that I tried didn't work at this point. And I was just willing to let God take over, just to take the wheel. And it really just started with faith. And once I let go, He did the rest. Within 2 weeks of me kind of saying yes to Christ, I never touched, I never drank, I never smoked, and it was, I didn't do any AA, I didn't do anything. God just took the taste of alcohol and all these other struggles. Even women, never slept with another woman other than my wife. At that point, so I'm not going to say it works like that for everybody, but I know God, He just worked miracles in my life from the minute I said yes. And so, I think it's a foundation. That's what I really want people to encourage, that they can have a foundation. And, God, you ain't got to be corny. It ain't about religion. It's about faith and trust.
And what do you want people to pick up from The Catch when they go to the store and buy the book and they read it, they turn the last page over, they finish? What do you want them to take from your memoir?
I want them to be a little more, I pray that people's perception of God, in our society today is changed. I think, we put God, we box Him into a church, we box Him into Sunday worship, and, and to, hallelujahs and amens. And, I just pray that people would, get the fact that, if you can't see how, God is kind of moved in my life, and even in the midst of that football season for the New York Giants, so He can move right where you at, whether you, working at Starbucks, whether you're an auto mechanic, miracles are it's an everyday, it's a lifestyle, and so I pray that people's perception of God and of Christ would change today, and that they will be encouraged.
That is a wonderful story. Now, I know you got to go, but before I let you go, I had your homeboy, Amani Toomer, in the previous segment, and he told me to ask you how many passes you dropped in practice before the Super Bowl game.
This is the campaign. He's the number one campaign for my Friday practice destruction. I believe I dropped at least 5 passes, and maybe even 6 passes. It has been officially recorded as the worst practice for a wide receiver in NFL history. So now I hold 2 memorable moments in NFL history.
Well, David, I just want to thank you so much for being here. And I picked up a copy of the book for my husband, and I'm going to have him share it with our son and for all the men in our family, because your story is remarkable. And we just want to thank you for being brave enough to share it with us.
Oh, thank you. I really enjoyed myself. It was a pleasure.
All right, brother. You have a good day.
Same to you, Sheletta.
Now, you guys don't go anywhere. Stick around. There's more on Crossroads to come. Stay with us.